this Sunday night in Ohio. That's right, y'all. Uh, and I hope wherever you're at on this cool and easy, breezy Sunday, you got a second to listen to what I'm about to lay down. Okay. Because Democrats just don't learn. They don't learn, man. Good grief. You got to be kidding me. So I'm waiting to see if I got a notification. There it is. I got me one. So, yeah, let's see if anybody else got a notification because I said to myself that if the Steelers started losing, I would just go ahead and call it a day and just start the live stream sooner before I go to work. And of course, they were taking it to the chin. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're not the Steelers of old. Bring back Franco Harris. You know what I'm saying? Bring back, let me see who else. Robert Newhouse. No, wait, Rocky Blyer. Bring back some of those guys. Bring back Lynn Swan, Starworth, Mean Joe Green. Thanks, Mean Joe. Sure, kid. Sure. Bring back those guys. Because I tell you, man, these dudes, man, whew, making all that money and can't even make tackles, stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, boy, I will go out and play right now for like a quarter of what they make and be flying around. Man, but it is what it is. So, we'll see what happens. It's just football at the end of the day. I shouldn't take it personal. Now, what I am going to take personal is what's going on around the country with these raggedy behind Democrats and their shenanigans. They just don't learn. They just don't learn, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to have to learn them. That's what I'm going to have to do. Somebody said, yo, the silverback is back. That's right. And I'm about to get loose so I can get busy. Oh, yeah. Like a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla.
There's some kings in the building. Do your best, let me show some respect.
Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, I've seen some people say they were checking in from Atlanta, Georgia. That's what I'm talking about. And let me know where else y'all checking in from. It's always good to see where the subscribers are pretty much located. Somebody said, didn't get my notification, but I was watching. See, there you go. So you got to be one step above, in front of YouTube, man, because they play games, man. I'm uploading some shorts from these long, videos, and I'm looking at the views, and I'm going, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. You're telling me all these subscribers and, I'm cracking 1,100 views on a 6-8 minute video. Got to be kidding me. I think there's something going on here. It's a scam. But anyway, it is what it is. Don't forget, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. That number right there, 3309-744-607. If you text MAGA to that number, you can stay connected with me just in case they disappear me off this platform. And then also, if you want to support the channel through my Cash App, my PayPal link, you can do that through my links below each video. And finally, I just learned that my link to my alternative channel did not save in the description below each of my live shows. They're under each of my uploaded standalone videos, but they're not under the live show. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to negotiate that. But if Dawn is going to make it tonight, hopefully she'll go ahead and post that link inside the chat until I get that corrected. This way you can subscribe to my alternative channel as well, because I'm going to start doing live streams there. Now, with no further ado, let's go ahead and talk about why Democrats just don't learn, man. They don't learn. So this was from a couple days ago, where apparently Abby Phillips and the rest of the Raggedy Dems were having a fit. And they were saying that because Tucker Carlson brought on, I forget the young man's name, the guy who's very controversial, but he brought him on. And, instead of focusing on Tucker Carlson and the young man who was on Tucker Carlson, it'll come to me in a second. Instead of focusing on them, you know how the Democrats got to do. They have to leap outside of the main subject, the main culprits, and somehow go straight to Trump, J.D. Vance, all of that stuff. See, it's interesting to me how immediately, if anything goes down in the conservative movement and it's somebody of any, fame or clout, then they're going to go straight to the White House. Do you denounce Nick Fuentes? They're going to go straight to the White House. Like, do you denounce that? And this ain't got nothing to do with J.D. Vance. Ain't got nothing to do with Trump. But, of course, they want to go straight up there and ask them, do you denounce? But yet, at the same time, they did not make their rounds when it came down to trying to make every Democrat denounce that jerk up there in Virginia who wished all that evil on Republicans. They didn't do that. They didn't make their rounds. They didn't throw a fit. They didn't clutch their pearls and all of that stuff. No. In fact, they should still be hounding that governor up there who just won and anybody else saying, are you okay with this guy serving as the DA when he said all these things? Do you ever regret your... They don't do that, though. So now they brought, the Brain's Dame on. See, the Brain's wife is on CNN. She's the Brain Dame. So the Brain's Dame came on CNN, and of course they tried to attack her. They want to know why J.D. Vance didn't denounce Nick Fuentes on Tucker Carlton's show, as if J.D. Vance got something to do with Tucker Carlton's lineup or something. And of course, their arguments and defense falls apart, but they just don't learn. So we got to go ahead and show them their hypocrisy. So let's get it.
And he also did not denounce Tucker for hosting Nick Fuentes.
I mean, what are we talking about?
So what does it say that Vance didn't feel like part of what, if he wants to lead the Republican Party, part of what he has to do is to police the boundaries of what's acceptable and what's not, and not say, hey, Tucker, unacceptable.
You got some nerves.
Don't do that.
Yes, you do. You want folks to denounce crazy people who come on the show. But we're about to see just how many crazy people done strolled across CNN set and nobody said nothing. So the Brain's Dame got brains too. Yeah, man. Stephen Miller, a.k.a. the Brain. Yeah, his dame got brains too. So here she is going to respond to that. And then, of course, the raggedy behind race baiters on Abby Phillips' show is going to step in and try to slide some stupidity in there. And then, of course, Abby, being the referee that she is, will ask questions to the guests. And when the guests start feeding her the business, she got to go ahead and start talking over them and stuff like that. So watch her go ahead and do this jiu-jitsu on Abby.
It's not up to you or myself to police speech in our country.
I mean, shouldn't it be up to J.D. Vance to say this is not part of our movement?
Are you okay? Are you okay with Nick Fuentes?
Here we go. I'm a Jew. Do you want to go there? And let's say this.
Yeah, I just asked the question. Was yes or no?
Well, you shouldn't have butted in. Hey, that was a conversation between those two. But here you are. You okay with Nick Fuentes? And she's like, oh, here we go. I'm a Jew. Okay. What? Do you really want to go there? See, this is the stupid stuff. Now, here's the thing. Nick Fuentes is very controversial, but nobody in the MAGA movement really take him that seriously. I mean, some of the stuff he be saying is controversial, but he be joking sometimes, to get a rise and whatever. I don't listen to him. I don't take my cues from him. I mean, he didn't even support Trump. But nonetheless, here they go. Do you support that? You okay with Nick Fuentes? Now, this guy got to try to jump in and get a jab in. Get a jab in. So here she is like, okay, here we go. See, they never stop to think that the people that they're trying to demonize and, say, well, you support this and that, oftentimes have attributes about themselves that would disqualify them from even supporting that if they had common sense. It's like me being black. And they always talking about that, no people of color supports Trump. And do you support Trump even though he's a racist and this and that? I'm going, so now you belittling my intelligence. Now you're belittling my ability to assess somebody's personality and, get a good feel for them and conclude that, yeah, I'm going to put my support behind this person. No, I'm not a Democrat. Okay. I'm able to read people's personalities. I'm able to do a little background searching and stuff like that to conclude that, hey, this guy right here has had a bad rap. Y'all been demonizing him, labeling him as something that he's not. But your viewers, your voters and all of that stuff, they just take it. Yeah, that's why they all shifted from loving Trump before he ran for president against the Democrats to hating him because the Democrats told him to. It's that simple. You need to hate him now. Okay.
Yes, I'm okay. If Nick Fuentes wants to be able to speak freely in our country, he has every right to do so. Do I agree with his views? Do I think that they should become?
I just asked a yes or no question.
Absolutely not.
I just asked the question. No, you didn't. Yeah, you asked a sarcastic question because you want her to go ahead and feel bad for saying, I mean, Nick Fuentes got a right to go on Tucker's show as well and speak. You want her to come out and say, no, I condemn it, and Tucker has no right, and we should denounce him, and this and all of that. That's what they really want. That's what they really want. They want to, of course, paint the right as radical, racist supporting people, people who support Nazis, people who support, the Third Reich, and all of that stuff. That's what he really wants.
Really want to go back to this for 1 second.
But this isn't about whether he can speak freely. It's about whether someone like Tucker Carlson, who is a very powerful force in the conservative movement.
You host people on your show all the time who call my husband and myself a Nazi.
Oh, snap. That's how you do it. That's how you snap back. You have people on your show all the time, Ragged T, behind, Abby Phillips. They call me and my husband a Nazi. They down here calling the brain and his dame Nazis. And they're Jewish. They're Jewish. But see, Abby got blindsided by that. Her hubris, her TDS, her tunnel vision on trying to go after Trump and JD Vance, blindsided her from that hypocrisy that just blindsided her. You caught her in the right side of her head with that hypocrisy. You have people on your show all the time, and I never hear you say, hey, whoa, easy, Tiger. You can't be calling the brain and his dame Nazis. You can't do that. You just let it go.
How is that any different from Tucker Carlson going on and Nick Fuentes having Tucker Carlson on his show? It's not different.
He's actually
He's anti-Semitic.
a Hitler admirer. Nick Fuentes is actually a Hitler
admirer. He literally
admirer.
is not a good human being.
Actually a Hitler admirer. Now, without even going to research to find out how accurate these statements are about Nick Fuentes, I highly doubt if it is exactly how they're laying it out. Because remember, Elon Musk was a Nazi because he made a phone call to a party in Germany and told them they don't have to be ashamed of the German history. You don't have to be held, prisoner to what happened under the Nazi regime. You can go ahead and feel proud to be German. And of course, by doing that, he's courting a neo-Nazi slash the far extreme right parties over there. And I'm going, you're calling them far extreme right because you don't want them to win and to become popular. So you're labeling them something that they didn't label themselves as. And you're trying to suggest that just because these folks have pride in their country, that makes them extreme. That makes them Nazis. They're nationalists. See, stuff like that. And Elon Musk telling them, hey, man, don't fall for it. Don't let them bully y'all and shame you into allowing them to take over your country and just abuse you guys. Don't do it. And so they just throw these labels out there recklessly. So I'm not even going to waste my time because I know how they are. Going to see, well, did he say it in jest? Was he joking? Was he being sarcastic? I don't know. But nonetheless, I don't trust them. And even if he did, how are you going to excuse the other stuff that we're about to see on your show? Okay, so here we go.
Different thing.
You have Jennifer Welch on your show very often, and you've never pushed back as she has called my husband a white nationalist.
Oh, the crazy lady with the Botox? Had her on Abby Phillips' Raggedy show, and you never pushed back? Because now, we already know she's a nasty lady. We know she's a nasty lady with all of that nasty stuff in her face, okay? She got all of that Jell-O and stuff injected in there. And, Abby Phillips be hanging out with her multiple times.
That is no different than Nick Fuentes going on Tucker Carlson's show. It's not, and you should admit it.
Well, hold on. How is it anything similar? It's not remotely similar at all. Nick Fuentes sits around and says that he likes Hitler. How is that similar
What does she have to do with that? What does she have to do with that?
Hold on.
She has nothing.
Thank you. You see Scott? Scott said, you know what? Chivalry still exists in my eyes. I'm not going to sit there and watch them try to team up on the brains dame and all of that stuff. What does she have to do with this? How did she get even drug in to this whole debate about what took place on Carlton's show and whether JD Vance should have came out and, is that what, you know what? That's it. That fly is going to get it. I got something for him. See, he just won't learn either. He just won't learn. See, I got something ready for him. Yeah. All I'm asking them to do is let me be. Let me be. You got all this room to fly around. Okay? You can hang out and the guns and over there and all that stuff and the computers, but you want to get all up in my face. So now you're going to have to pay the price. Soon as you fly your butt right back over this place. Right in the eyeball. Now, back to the show. But I got it on hand with the trigger finger. All right, so anyway, yeah, why in the world did they even venture into that conversation and dragging her and making her have to go ahead and speak for J.D. Vance or speak for Tucker Carlson or whatever? You know, it's always a gotcha. It's always, let's try to bring up stuff to link anybody on the right to some type of extremism, some Nazism, and some fascism and stuff like that. See, they play these games, man, and they don't learn. Because, see, these are the games that has led to all of the violence that we're seeing come from their side. That's where it's coming from. It's coming from these type of games where you're trying to always infer that you guys are extremists, you guys are fascists, you guys support racism and all of this stuff.
But hold on.
Literally
Scott,
nothing.
Scott, Katie is the person who just said to me that it is comparable to say that Nick Fuentes, who is literally a neo-Nazi, is the same.
Is he? Literally a neo-Nazi? Boy, I tell you, it's interesting when they throw that term out there because I'm saying, wow, what do neo-Nazis believe in? I mean, what's their end game? What's their goal? I mean, do they got enough people to even support the movement? I mean, is it just enough to say I'm a neo-Nazi? Okay, well, what do neo-Nazis do? I mean, because the other Nazis, like, they spreaded that mess. It became a powerful movement. They had goals and agendas, and they were going after, violence and all that. We don't see that out of these so-called, literally, neo-Nazis. We don't see that. But yet, here's Abby saying, literally, he's a neo-Nazi. Now, once again, I don't know what he declares himself to be, but I highly doubt it if Nick Fuentes is out there saying, I'm literally a neo-Nazi.
As somebody, a liberal who has an opinion.
That's all it is? Yeah, see, you're trying to compare literally a neo-Nazi to a liberal who just has an opinion. Now, see how they downplay that? This is the same stuff that got him in trouble when they all supported these raggedy Democrats who were sedition. Came out with sedition. Yeah, they literally, he's a neo-Nazi, but this person just has an opinion. Yeah, they're not traitors. They just got an opinion. They're not traitors. They're just simply telling the military, hey guys, don't forget, don't obey unlawful orders. That's all they're doing. Downplay it, right? You don't want to really deal with the true meaning and the true, core issue when it comes down to what the Seditious Six did and what this lady on your show is about, the one with all the Botox. So we're going to see if it's simply just an opinion. We're going to see if Abby was like, you know what, I'm not going to check this witch on my show because all of the things she's saying is simply vocalizing an opinion.
Not a neo-Nazi. They are not
a hateful opinion.
The same.
How do you want, excuse me.
Hateful. Very hateful. Now, if you think I'm lying, then I'm flying. We're going to see just how hateful this lady is that Abby Phillips is trying to overlook and say it's just her opinion.
So let's go back to the point one more time.
But
Nick
Katie,
Fuentes can espouse an opinion on Tucker Carlson's show.
It is not the same
and he didn't push
thing.
back the same way you didn't
Katie.
push back when someone called someone in my family
Hold on a
Nazi.
second.
It's not.
Oh, you hear that? She's on it right now. They fighting. They scrapping, y'all, back and forth. And you hear Abby? Abby's throwing out all of her comments, and then when she responds, it's not that, but it's not. That's why she gets me sick. I, for once, want to just see her shut up and listen to the response that she warranted. She's the one that threw that out there, and now this lady is coming back, giving her some of these to the ribs, tenderizing her, and here she is. But it's not the same. Would you shut up and let us hear what the lady got to say? Because you don't want to hear what she got to say. It is the same. You sit back and let that chick call her and her husband literally Nazis. And they're Jews.
Like Stephen Miller is a white supremacist.
Look at that.
He is, and he's basically running the White House. They keep Trump busy with his decorating projects. He's got building the arch now. He's got his Oval Office design. And then you have these...
You see the witch? You see the witch? Abby Phillips joined the witches. Now, other day we saw three of them. It was Joyless Reed, and she completed the circle, the witch's circle from, Clash of the Titans. So Abby now joins that. And somehow she's hanging out with this chick that is filled with nothing but venom, nothing but hate, nothing but propaganda, nothing but lies and deception. And Abby has to sit here and let this chick come out and say that, and watch her, instead of checking this chick, takes the passive role. Okay, you shouldn't even want to be around somebody that this hateful. Literally, he's a white supremacist. Now, can you get sued for that? I'm just wondering. I mean, you're calling the brain and his dame white supremacists and Nazis. Okay, but let's see how Abby goes ahead and try to tiptoe around her friend's hateful, lies.
Real sociopaths that are real anti-Semites, true white supremacists like Stephen Miller.
True,
and
right.
even though he's Jewish, he's like a Nazi Jew.
Well, look, I can't speak to what Stephen Miller's motivations are. I've met him, I've talked to him, I've interviewed him.
How tall is he?
Yeah, we're dying to know.
Oh God, I can't.
Yeah, we're down to know. You see these witches? You see these evil stinking broads? I'm gonna call them the old school stuff. You see these broads? You see these broads right here? Talking about how tall is he? I'm dying to know. Now, Abby knows that what this lady just said, number one, is a lie. Number two, it is spreading some of the most dangerous rhetoric and lies about someone. You're up here calling him and several other people literally white supremacists, Nazis, and they're Jewish. And instead of Abby said, hey, man, that is not true. I'm not going to sit here and let that. What does Abby do? I can't speak for Stephen Miller. You take the passive role? You didn't drop your mic and get up and walk out of there and discuss? You didn't do that? You're going to sit back and fight through all of these lies and hurtful and hateful things she said?
Remember that.
Short?
I truly cannot remember.
Okay.
I am short, so my understanding of people's height is not great.
You never want to date a woman like this, and here's why.
Ever.
She writes checks that the boyfriend can't cash.
What do you mean?
You take a person like this to a bar, she has one pop, runs her mouth, she's going to get slapped, you got to stick up for her, and then you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, that's the kind of chick that'll get you into a fight, see, right there. You see how nasty her mouth is? How bold she is with her lies? She's confidently bold with those lies. Now, whether she believes that crap or not, the way she says it, you can see the evil leaking off of that woman. I don't know where they dug her butt up and platformed her. I'm thinking if I was spreading the same type of hatred, they would have snatched me off of YouTube a long time ago. I don't even know what her main platform is, but boy, is she evil. Every time I hear from her, she's saying some of the most craziest, reckless things about conservatives you can ever imagine. But Abby takes her butt right up there on that set and tolerates that mess. Now, should all of the folks at CNN condemn Abby Phillips? Should they all be asking her, the fact that you went on that show shows that you support this evil witch and all of that stuff, and we want you to come out and denounce her. But Jesse has a correct analysis of this lady. Look at this chick's background. I figured she probably couldn't be married.
You stay far away. She makes Andrew Dice Clay look like a choir boy.
She does.
This is like insult comedy without the comedy. It's an hour of hate speech.
Yep.
And I don't even know what hate speech is, but if a right-winger was saying this, they'd be deplatformed.
Yep.
And doesn't it say a lot about the Democratic Party that they actually have people gravitating to this show?
I've had
Yeah, because they like that. They feed off of this type of eval. Their supporters who are suffering from TDS, they feed off of this. They're sitting back like, yo, I want to get madder and madder. Tell me more hurtful and things about Trump and J.D. Vance. Tell us more evil things about them. Justify our anger. Justify our TDS. Feed our TDS. They're like that plant. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. They love it. And so she's giving them what they want. But you would think somebody like Abby, who's so judgmental and so hypersensitive to, someone platforming someone evil on their show and demanding that people denounce them. You would think Abby Phillips would have stayed miles away from this witch, but instead, look at all the evil things she said. Now, I don't know. I haven't listened to all of the things that Nick Fuentes has said, but I'm pretty sure that the hateful things that you're about to hear come out of this woman's mouth should make anybody with a hypersensitive conscience like Abby stay way away from her.
it with white people that triple trumped Ellen is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to.
Y'all hear that? Yeah, I think I might have got him, y'all. I think I might have got him. So, y'all hear this lady right here? The white people should be banned. Whoever triple trumped should be banned. There it is, man. From enjoying what?
Offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass.
Nobody wants to see that evil face right there. Nobody wants to see that plastic face right there that in a couple years is going to slide right off your skull. Nobody wants to see that nasty. Look at that. That is the face of pure evil. That is a face that is infested with demonic activity right there. That lady got demons from the toes to the head, from the rooter to the tutor. You see that? She's sitting there. You can see it coming out of her, all the vitriol. Nobody. If it was up to her, if they were able to give her one button to just, terminate all of the conservatives in America, she would push it. I think she would straight up push it. Give it to me. I'll do it. People like her, people like Joy Reid, they would do it. So you see all the evil coming out of her, but she seems like a gem, doesn't she? Abby Phillips is just like, look, it's different. She's just vocalizing her opinion.
Teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Now you see all of those hurtful words she's saying about MAGA folks. I'm a triple MAGA guy. I ain't got no big gut sticking out. You don't want to see my black face rocking around you. Well, I don't want to see your Botox face either. But there you are, right on the internet. So you hear her? Now, does she sound like someone that, anybody who is trying to pretend to be balanced and neutral and stuff like that should be hanging around? They platform this chick all the time. Let's book her again.
Moses Mike Grinder.
Look at this. Look at this.
Johnson worships two things: Donald Trump and his closeted life. And he will go to the ends of the earth to do anything for Kanks, for this dementia-ridden, diaper-wearing sack of shit.
See? Look at those. I left the hurtful things in there just so you can see the type of chick we're dealing with that Abby Phillips platforms. See? So now, there you have it. She's up there just throwing out all kind of, vitriol and hateful things. Now, why is it, though, that Abby Phillips and her staff is not combing through all of the statements that this chick has said or supported? See, they went back to Nick Fuentes and said, all right, the right here, he said this. The right here, he said that. And that means literally. But you don't go through and comb through all of the things she said. So that's why I got to remind you, I got to show you some of the things that this woman said. Now, I don't know about you, but this woman seems pretty evil. She seemed like if she could get her hands on something that could get rid of us, she would. Let's continue seeing this person that Abby Phillips just platforms and never condemns.
And he weaponizes his faith all day, every day to rural Americans that have some sort of grudge. Why can't I get ahead? Why can't I get ahead? You can't get ahead because you vote for pieces of shit like Moses Mike Grinder Johnson, who kisses the ass of billionaires. And these billionaires think you are not worthy of livable wages. They think that you're not worthy of health care.
So not only is she evil, but she's dumb. She's dumb. She's stupid. But remember, Democrat TDS the folks, they don't care. And to them, this crap makes sense. These evil billionaires and stuff like that, and all of the stuff that, they think that makes people mad and emotional. All you got to do, you want to go ahead and get liberals all upset, just start talking about billionaires and folks supporting the billionaires, and they don't care about the little man. And you know why you can't get ahead? It's because you support stupid people like that. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why is it that Democrats who run ran cities, why do they have so many ghettos, so much poverty, so much crime? Don't they run those areas? Why aren't all of those inner city black folks in Chicago all making $200,000-$300,000 a year? I mean, it's ran by all Democrats. What's going on with that? Why isn't all of LA just whistling Dixie and making money, going to the bank, cha-ching, da-ding, ding. Why ain't that happening? Huh? Just ran by all Democrats. So wait a minute. Okay, you're saying that us conservatives can't get ahead because we're supporting people like that. But Democrat policies just make us all rich. Or do they promise handing out a whole bunch of crap because you guys get on here and you lie like you're doing and saying, yeah, you know what, you can't get ahead because there's always somebody else stepping on your head so you can't climb up over the wall. And I'm going, yeah, they're called Democrats, okay? Because if people got over the wall, if they got out the bucket, they'd realize, why am I voting for Democrats? These people aren't pro-capitalism.
And this is so sickening that the Speaker of the House, that no Republicans check this little pipsqueak, this little DL demon queen, and that he is such a defender and protector of pedophilia.
Hold on a second. If someone comes on this show and says, I love Hitler and I admire what he did, they would never, first of all, I would never invite them on the show and they would never be invited back.
Huh. Really? Okay, somebody comes on to say, I love Hitler and this and that. Now, once again, I highly doubt the context in which she's trying to say Nick Fuentes said that. Because just like the young men in the chat, the group chat, who was joking around, of course, Democrats, they can't read sarcasm. They choose not to read sarcasm, jokes, just any of that stuff. They choose not to do that. They choose to go ahead and see the worst application of any type of statement, no matter what the context is. Just like they chose not to say that, with Charlie Kirk. All the stuff Charlie Kirk was saying, they straight up took the worst application. He says black women can't be, they're not smart enough and this and that, and he called them dumb. And I'm going, that's not the application. That's not the context. I know how you guys are. I know how you will take something that somebody says and say, there it is. That justifies us saying that they're blank, blank, and blank. But now Abby comes in and she takes the moral high road. And she says, if somebody came in and said they were, they loved Hitler, I would never platform them again. Well, let's just see some of the stuff that the evil, wicked witch has said and done. And you tell me, somebody saying I love Hitler versus saying what this lady is about to say.
So those two things are
But yet
not
you've gone on Jennifer
the
Wilsh's
same
podcast. It's the same thing.
They are
It's
not the same.
No, it's not.
What I find
Okay.
so, what I find
Listen,
so,
but hold on, Katie.
No, we
do
can
you
agree.
believe that Jennifer Welch has a right to say something negative about your husband?
the same way Nick
Do you-
Fuentes has the
but
right
hold
to
on.
say what he wants
So
to say.
you think Nick?
Oh, well, hold on. You see Abby? Now they scrapping, they going back and forth. And Abby's trying to block her rebuttal. And she's like, yeah, the same way that this chick that you're biting on your show has and she's like, but hold on. I want you to only listen to my point. I want the audience only to hear my point. I don't want them to hear you going back and forth and shaming me and telling me, look, you're just as bad as who you're judging.
Do you think that it's okay? Hold on. Do you think it is okay for Jennifer Welch? Is she allowed to say something negative about your husband?
Absolutely, and it's your job as a moderator then to put-
Now, you can't let her finish? Absolutely, and it's your job as a moderator. But listen, she slips it in. We're able to hear it.
So that's the
It's
first
the
thing.
same way you're asking Tucker Carlson to push back against Nick
But hold on,
Fuentes.
Nick.
Same way you're asking Tucker Carlson to push back against Nick Fuentes. Yeah, you let that chick come on your show, you don't push back. You sat there right on her set as she said that, this lady and her husband was neo-Nazis and they're white supremacists, and no pushback. Your form of pushback was, I don't presume to know what Stephen Miller's beliefs are, but I could. That's your pushback. That was the weakest push ever. Man, that's a push that I wouldn't even feel. I'd be like, do you feel something? No, I didn't feel nothing. No pushback at all. But yeah, Abby's trying to work around that hypocrisy that's in her face. That's what she's trying to do, and ignore all of the demonic, evil things that this woman has said and done. Watch this.
Fuentes.
Is it not different?
Nick Fuentes is espousing, he's not describing someone else as a Nazi. He is saying, I admire Nazis. You don't think that's a different thing?
Finally, if you think this
Look at this.
Zoran thing is happening just in New York, and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken.
Watch this.
Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
Yeah. This is the type of stuff she like. Y'all ready for this? I don't know about y'all, but Nick Fuentes saying that he admires Hitler. This woman right here, yeah, she jumped past that. She went straight to death. Look what she says.
His name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses.
Now you hear this old delusional lady? And this is the type of video this chick chose to show to support the movement of the left. She went and dug up this very ill-informed old lady who probably has never stopped to listen to Charlie Kirk, just listening to people like this chick. And thought he was horrible on the campuses. What did he say? I don't know. He was horrible. He was racist. He was white supremacist. And then watch what this old lady say. Now, you would think after what this old lady say, the witch would say that right there went too far. But let's see what the witch does.
This horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
Look at her laughing. You hear the witch laughing? Yeah. You hear the witch laughing at that? So Abby Phillips, Nick Fuentes though, you got to condemn him saying I admire Hitler, but not this chick showing a video of a lady saying, yeah, I'm glad Charlie Kirk is dead. Yeah, I probably would be happy if you was dead too. And your response, because you're an evil witch, is to chuckle. But Abby Phillips thinks that Nick Fuentes is the extremely evil. I'm going, no. That laugh right there is the laugh of evil. Right there. When they said Joe Biden had cancer, I didn't go, I didn't do that. But this chick, yeah. And watch what she says after.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
She like it.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
And her friend is just as bad. Yeah, this is the stuff coming out of the left. And you are platforming this chick right here who played this clip and laughed, and not only laughed. Look at that.
So listen up, Democratic establishment.
Oh.
You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA.
Whoa! No condemnation of that? You use that as an application to threaten even the Democrats. You hear that? She didn't say, now this lady right here was a little too far out. She was extreme. But I'm just, no. She said, yeah, you hear that right there? Listen up, Democrats. We're coming after you guys just like we come after MAGA. Yeah, that's how we come after MAGA, by hoping they die, celebrating if they died, all of that. Yeah, that's how we come after MAGA. That's how we see them. When we chuckle when we hear about one of them getting assassinated by one of our crazy folks. But yet, Abby Phillips is like, it's different for her to just simply vocalize her opinion.
Period.
We have to thank Andy Cohen for this woman. He made her famous, and now we're all paying the price. I looked into her background.
No, I didn't talk about the Minnesota problem yet. Oh, you're talking about all of the Somalians that are about to lose their citizenship, get sent back? If that's what you're talking about. No, I haven't talked about it yet, but I do have it in the queue. It won't be tonight because I got to, get this one done quickly. I got to get ready for work tonight. But I will be back tomorrow. Probably tomorrow morning to start talking about that. So let's continue though, because Jesse right here is yeah, this chick's evil. Yeah, you know why? Look at this.
She's an atheist and she divorced her husband, but is still living in the same house as the husband.
What kind of mess?
So the husband left the law practice because he was tied up in a bribery scandal and he's a recovering alcoholic. And so she has a lot of hate and anxiety at home and she's just projecting it onto the microphone.
Well, that's obvious. I don't see how anybody can stay married to him. He probably drinks and lives in the bottom of that bottle because of her. The bottom of the bowl. That's where he's at. He's like, man, if you had to wake up to this witch face every day, you would be in the bottom of some tequila like me. I'm the worm. I'm floating around in the bottom of tequila. More tequila. Andale, more tequila. And looking at that, man, it's scary. And I woke up, I said, ay. She's crazy, man. Give me another drink so I can cope with it. So yeah, that evil chick, still staying there though. Still staying there though. spreading her evilness.
You believe my husband's a Nazi? You allow
but
someone
do
on your
you
show
think
to say
that
it.
do you think those things are
Oh,
different?
yeah, whoa. You just jumped over her question. Do you think me and my husband are Nazis? But do you think, see, Abby thinks she's slick. She think that we're supposed to see her reaction as just back and forth dialogue. But her reaction is to block and drown out any reasonable response that might make her look bad or destroy her argument. So immediately, soon as somebody open their mouth, she's already ready to block the. But do you think that? There it is. That's what she does. And you got to kind of listen real hard to hear what the person's saying in between Abby talking over the person right after asking them a question.
Different or not?
I don't think anybody around
Already, before the chick even gets her words out there, she already cued, mouth wide open. Unreal.
So listen, for Nick
I
Fuentes
just
to go
think,
to Tucker
I
Carlson's
just think
show
that
and
you
you
are
to have people
making,
to have on your show.
you are making a comparison of two things that are not in any way the same.
Yeah, you're right. Because I've never heard Nick Fuentes wish death on people and chuckle about it and say, yeah, so all you conservatives, liberals out there, yeah, you better watch yourself because this is how we coming after all of y'all. Yeah, you heard what the old lady said. She's happy the folks died. Wish that person would die. And so any of y'all out there listening, we want that. This is our method of, discord. Yeah. So I'm wondering how Abby feels about that as she brought that lady on to spread that type of vomit and vitriol. So these are the type of people who, of course, try to paint us to be the evil ones. And really, they're painting all kind of targets on conservatives' backs because they know they're lying. They know they're trying to link us to all of this stuff. And as soon as one of them steps in it and we check them or call out their evil, diabolical behavior, what do? They flip it and say, you're putting targets on our back. Yeah, we're now the victims. I mean, we've only demonized y'all for 12 years straight, calling y'all white supremacists, Nazis, fascists and stuff. That's all we've done. Yeah, we don't know why these people are taking shots at Trump. We don't know why these people assassinated Charlie Kirk. We've only called you guys xenophobes, homophobes, transphobes, and all the phobes you could think of. We don't know why these folks are taking out all their anger on you folks. It's probably because you brought it on yourself for being so evil. That's probably what it is. And then you're calling us out. Now I feel like I'm in danger.
I acknowledge and listen, when
It's
people
happened more than once, Abby.
But hold on.
At one point, it's a common occurrence.
When people say,
yeah, Abby, happened more than once, and we're about to see that more than once.
Say their opinions, I don't endorse them, but I also am not responsible for their opinions.
So doesn't that apply to Tucker
That is
Carlson?
different from a person themselves describing themselves as a hate monger.
Is Tucker Carlson?
Oh wait, that's different than your friend Jennifer threatening even Democrats that we're going to come at you just like the old lady suggested. Wishing death on you. There it is. Yeah. Is it different than Jay Jones? Y'all should be appalled over that. Y'all should be disgusted. You should be blowing up the phones of every single Democrat asking, would you like to come on and talk about why in the heck do y'all have an attorney general up there in Virginia who wished all of those evil, hurtful things on people? I've never heard Nick Fuentes wish all of that stuff on anybody. Death to them, their kids, all of that. Look at all the evil that she's jumping over to get to Nick Fuentes. Yeah, look at all of that stuff. Just so really, it ain't Nick Fuentes. It ain't even Tucker Carlson. She's doing that to get to J.D. Vance and Trump. She's using those two so she can get to Trump. Yeah, somehow, let me overlook dealing with Nick Fuentes, dealing with Tucker, and say that Trump and them should come out and condemn this and denounce it. But yet, we will overlook all of this evil just to try to get to Trump.
And so that
for Nick Fuentes'
person,
opinions.
but hold on a second. I am also not a Republican Party official or a Democrat Party official.
What? Dun, dun, dun. Don't you believe it? Unbelievable. You are one of the niggas, you should be carrying around a shield on the front that says "We defend Democrats." Unbelievable. But I'm not a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm asking you about you as a Republican and who you think is the leader of your party, right?
Right
and
now it's President Donald Trump.
And I'm asking your
It's
opinion.
Donald J. Trump.
Your
That's who it
opinion,
is.
okay? If you think that J.D. Vance is that person, do you think that he should be sitting at a table and nodding along with Nick Fuentes, yes or no?
I don't believe J.D. Vance has ever sat and nodded along with Nick Fuentes.
He hasn't. He hasn't. But see, you know what they're already doing? They're already prepping to go after J.D. Vance because they know he's coming right after Trump. They're trying to get the narratives, established so when he launches his bid for the presidency, they can go back and drag up stuff like this. Back in 2025, Nick Fuentes showed up on the Tucker Carlson show. At the time, you were asked about it, and you never condemned Tucker Carlson for this. Would you like to condemn him now? Would you like to denounce that now? See, this is the stupid stuff that they lay the groundwork for. So right now they know, all right, we couldn't stop Trump. It's over. We're going to still continue to demonize him and try to, make him look horrible. And hopefully all of the negativity we put on Trump can just go ahead and be transferred to J.D. Vance. But we need some fresh stuff just for him. We need some fresh stuff just for him. We can't use the Trump evil, lies and stuff that we used on him. We can't just throw that on J.D. So we got to go ahead and lay the groundwork. We got to overcome the fact that he's married to a woman of color by still saying he's unhappy. He wants really a pure white woman. He hates his wife. We got to lay the groundwork to bypass all of these obstacles that is going to make it hard to say J.D. Vance is a full-blown racist, white supremacist, white nationalist. So we got to lay the groundwork.
Do you think that Tucker Carlson? Do you think it is okay for J.D. Vance to think it's okay for Tucker Carlson to sit and nod along with?
I think it's okay for Tucker Carlson to have Nick Fuentes on the show the same way you have people on your show who have similar views.
Hold on, that's all I asked you, and we can just leave it at that.
No, we can't. That's not all you asked her. Yeah, you was trying to make her submit. You was trying to make her condemn J.D. Vance for not condemning Tucker. Unbelievable. Yeah, J.D. Vance didn't platform Nick Fuentes. What does that have to do with it? And so the brains dame handled herself very well. But you think it stops there? You think these Democrats will ever learn that maybe we should lay off of that everybody's a Nazi, everybody's a white supremacist, everybody's a racist? You would think that. You would think they would say, let us lay off of all of the negativity, because guess what? When bad things happen, it looks bad on us. And it will look worse on us if we have people like Abby, who was honest enough to say, all of this stuff that's happening around our country is a result of your rhetoric. No, Abby platforms people to spread that rhetoric. See?
Because at the end of the day, that is what the Republican Party has to decide. Do they care?
What? Whether
or not someone who has a loud voice of their party is bringing on somebody who is encouraging neo-Nazism.
Oh, okay, so that's what the Republicans got to decide, whether we want to condemn Tucker Carlson for bringing on Nick Fuentes, or should the Democrats decide whether we want to condemn Jay Jones, who straight said that conservatives should be assassinated and their kids. Find me the Nick Fuentes statement that's more evil than that. Yeah, find me the person that Tucker's platform that's more evil than Jennifer, who just laughed at an old lady saying, I'm glad Charlie Kirk's dead. Yeah, find me some folks out there that matches any of the evil things that folks on the left are saying about Trump, JD, the brain. Find me some of those people. But here she is. That's what the Republican Party got to decide? Are you kidding me?
Wait,
and if you think that was okay,
wait, if you think let's go back to
Oh, see, there it is. Let me interfere with any response. I thought, wait. You hear Scott come in? Wait, do the Republicans have to decide or do that? I thought, wait. So there it is. You see her blocking?
Let's go back to the murder story. So we have to leave it at that.
I bet you do. Yeah, see, now let's see an example of the type of people that CNN platforms. Let's see the type of evil vitriol lies that they spread. And nobody comes out and says, hey, dude, stop that, okay? Listen to this guy. You see Beaker? You see this guy right here on there with that Frazzle Rock dude up top and those big glasses on. Listen to what he tries to infer.
Don't care that the president might be a pedophile? You don't
No,
care
he's not
that
a pedophile. No.
You don't
no evidence way beyond.
No, there's
Now that's way beyond. You see the soft reaction to him? But see, this guy's on there all the time. He's on there all the time. And I'm saying, no, wait a minute. Why is this guy still on there? I mean, here he comes straight out. You don't care that. I would be more worried about you with your gentle self and what your personal background and choices are than I would Trump. Here you are. Wait a minute. We don't care that the president of the United States might be or whatever. And I'm saying, are you kidding me? So you're just going to throw that out there? And you wonder why our country's divided. And they all come on, no, don't say that. Instead of, hey, look, that is not true. We are not support. Matter of fact, this guy right here, just like they kicked that one guy off the network right after Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and they went out. That guy went out there and suggested that it was because of Charlie Kirk. He was gone. Maybe they should do it to this guy.
evidence of it, but that's what. No, it's not insane. That's what we've been talking about all week.
There is no evidence of that. We're not going to.
No, but that's what the emails have been talking about.
That's what the emails have been talking about. Can y'all platform a straight man for once besides Scott? Only the conservatives are straight on this show. Isn't that odd? All of the conservative men that they bring on are straight. All of the liberal guys all got a little lightness in their loafers. They're all light in their loafers. They're all talking through the nostrils. Very gentle woodland creatures on here, but they say the most hurtful things. Yeah.
We've been talking about all week. That's why he doesn't want to release the files. And to say that nobody cares is kind of absurd. If the president is a pedophile, we should know about it.
So they
Yep. That's the type of stuff they platform on CNN.
went from preaching about the Jeffrey Epstein files and demanding that these files be released.
What happened to
And they were trying to pin it on President Trump to now being silent about the Jeffrey Epstein files. As soon as things started to come to the light about prominent Democrat leaders who solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein and had dinner with this guy. So that topic is now a dead situation. This just goes to show that this was never about getting justice for the victims. It was about targeting President Trump.
What? You're telling me, smart black lady, that all of the Democrats coming out to the mic every day talking about Trump's just distracting away from the Epstein files. Trump don't want to address Trump has big problems with the Epstein. Trump. You mean to tell me they were never sincere about getting some type of justice for the victims? Like they always are? They're never sincere about getting justification for any victims, especially the ones that they're the cause of. They don't care about Laken Riley, Ashley Babbitt. They don't care about all of the folks that are victims because of their politics and their decisions. They don't try to get justice for any of them at all, ever. Yeah. However, though, now they want to pretend they wanted to get justice for, the ladies and stuff. What, we're being implicated in that? It's gotten reversed and flipped on us. Go quiet. Go dark on it. Go dark on it. You know what? That's old news now. And I'm going, where y'all at? Come back. Y'all want to talk about it now? Y'all are getting busted up in there? See how foul they are, but they don't learn. Watch this. Here we go. Yeah, they haven't learned yet.
Well, this just in. We have a Fox News alert from Brooke Taylor. You won't believe this.
What?
DHS is confirming that an Afghan national was arrested Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area.
What a dumb man. You're one of the dumbest terrorists that I've ever encountered. I'm going to go online. Don't worry. I tell everybody my diabolical scheme. I'm going to create bomb. But what are you doing? But I'm glad you did. So wait a minute. Is this one of the folks from Operation Ally or whatever? One of the gentle woodland creatures who came here for a better life, who loves our country, and is loyal to us because of our grace and our welcomingness into our country. Yeah, he's showing us how much he appreciates us, right?
Mohammed Dawood Al-Okazai is charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat. According to DHS, listen to this. He came to the United States as part of Operation Allies Welcome. So here you have it. This happened Tuesday. Texas Department of Public Safety. This is a second Afghan national.
Get him out of here. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Get them all out of here, okay? If we can't see what's in their heart, then we gotta err on the side of caution. There it is. Yep. I'm sorry. Hey, look, I don't hate you people. I'm not saying you all have the same beliefs and goals of folks like this, but we don't know. See, that's the problem. And you got to be dumb to go ahead and just trust and say, okay, well, we won't know until we find out, right? We won't know until one of y'all just decide to, because apparently, according to them, the first guy who shot the National Guards people, he was supposed to be one of our allies. And somehow he flipped. The switch kicked in. And I'm saying, hey, you know what? Just to be safe, we always got to, side with the home team. We always got to say, look, we'll try to give y'all the best, option to go wherever you want to go. If you want to go back home, cool. You want to go somewhere else, cool. Put you in a nice place where, you feel like you could thrive or whatever, but you can't stay. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, the one guy already done jacked it up for all of you. All of you. So this ain't no different than the illegal immigrants who are here. And then they start acting a fool and all of the immigrants got to go. They got to go. They should have to go just on GP anyway. And then the ones that came here that we gave visas or whatever to, like these people, came from Afghanistan, that we couldn't vet, they got to go. Same thing with all the Somalians up there who's ripping off our system. Got to go. Everybody got to go. Unless you are born here in the USA, unless you can say, I live in America, don't know your motive. And see, I'm not so naive to think that this wouldn't even apply to me. If I moved to China, and even if they gave me citizenship, you don't think they'd always be wondering what's going on in my head? You don't think they would say, well, now that he's here, I'm sure he's going to love China and forsake his own country and beliefs. And if we use any propaganda to demonize the U.S., I'm sure he's going to be on board with us. I'm sure if we decide to launch any type of operation against the U.S., I'm sure he's going to side with us. Nope, they would be going, keep an eye on that guy. Because at the end of the day, he's going to be like, I'm still an American, okay? And if I'm over here and y'all are planning on doing something bad to America, it's going to be a problem. Y'all going to either have to send me back, or if I get a chance to sabotage it, I'm going to do it. Any other country. If I was in Russia, they'd be like, okay, you're here, cool. Don't think that we ain't going to have folks watching you. I'd be Rockwell, baby. I always feel like the Russians watching me. Because they would be. And they should be. They should be going, he's not from Mother Russia. Giving him the chance, he would go ahead and side with America. Absolutely, I would. So we got to be concerned. And the only way we can be sure, unfortunately, is to return everybody to where they came from. Hopefully things have calmed down in Afghanistan.
This week, Operation Allies Welcome. He had a terror plot. We know it comes the same week that deranged individual, that alleged assassin, took out two of our heroic National Guard, came here on the same program, Operation Allies Welcome.
Now, I wonder how many of these people we have to do something like this for the Democrats to finally side with Americans. Finally say, you know what, maybe this was a mistake. We need to rethink it. Trump has the right idea to send everybody back. Nope. No. What they're going to do is say, what Trump is doing is he's using this man to demonize everybody. And you know what? He's saying they're racist. He's doing this because he's racist. He wants to send people of color back. And I'm going to see, once again, you haven't learned. Yeah. See, common sense folks, when they see stuff like this, they go, yeah, we don't want to take a chance. But see, the Democrats, even though they know that might be smart, why would they say Trump's right? Maybe we should do that, especially considering they brought them here. But instead, what are they going to do? Trump's doing this because he's racist, not because he's smart, not because he's protecting the homeland. You know what? He's trying to say that all of them, or he's demonizing all of them just because of one or two, maybe something like that. And I'm going, okay, I got to go back to my analogy. Yeah, when Democrats say stupid stuff like that, I would love to be on the scene with a big bag of Skittles. And when they say, yeah, just because one or two people are bad, you can't say that all of them are bad. And I say, okay, so which ones are? Oh, we don't know. That's the point. Okay, exactly. So here's the deal. I got a whole bag of Skittles right there. Big bag, too. Big bag. Thousands of Skittles all in here. And 2 of them are laced with cyanide. So, since there's only 2, and what's the chances of you picking the 1 or 2 that's laced with cyanide? Go ahead, let me shake them up real good. Reach in and grab 2 and throw them back. Pico, watch them. I ain't doing that. Well, why not? It's only 2. Are you judging those? You judging all of the Skittles because of 2 bad Skittles in the bunch? Of course you would. See, you would err on the side of caution and say, I'm not even taking the chance. But nope, instead, you're judgmental.
A program that we were assured time and time again by Mayorkas, by Jen Psaki, by Joe Biden himself was safe and secure. But here we have a second data point in 1 week that it was not safe. It was not secure.
Nope.
And we've got to look very hard at this program as President Trump is vowing to make change.
Thank you, Trump.
Will you deport people with pending asylum claims, Madam Secretary?
Yeah.
We will if they should be. Absolutely. Yes, we are going to go through every single person that has a pending asylum claim, has an asylum claim here in this country. You know, one of the requirements of asylum is that you have to come in every single year for a checkup and an interview process and a re-vetting. And that is something that we're going to expedite and happen immediately with anyone who does have that asylum claim today and ensure that they deserve to still be in this country.
Sounds good to me. Makes me feel like you guys are taking it seriously, unlike Mucus. When they were asking him, are you going to go back and recertify all these people and look individually? That we have already vetted them and we feel that these are the brave men. And that's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. See, I got a feeling you're going to go ahead and cut some curves when it comes down to just going ahead and saying, all right, you're renewed. Just like you cut all the curves, bring in all of those other illegal immigrants across our border. You're good. Go ahead in. So now we got somebody who said, hey, maybe we should take this seriously and look into, especially since we done got 2 already in a week.
That they still have the purposes for which they claimed that asylum in place and that they're not here being radicalized and perpetuating dangerous criminal activity against our Americans.
This is.
Uh-oh. Now here's the person who have not learned. This guy right here, this troll, this mole, this stinking nasty guy who's already in hot water because of him being a seditious the 6th person, you would think he would lay low. You would think he would not be going on doing the rounds trying to inflame the situation. Now, this guy being a former military person, he should know something about security, protecting the homeland. But because he's a Democrat and he's soul to soul, watch what he tries to do. And you would think, boy, you should learn. You went out, tried to demonize Trump and say that he was committing unlawful, the acts. He was demanding, unlawful orders to the people. You got in trouble for that. And then you get right back on after 2 service members are shot. One's dead, other one's fighting for their life. Another person just got busted. And here are your responses. You just can't help but trying to figure out a way to label Trump as evil and racist. You just can't help it. Now, this puts a bigger spotlight on this trash right here, because that's what he is. He ain't the kind of I'm going to thank you for your service. Nah. Yeah, you done wiped away all of that with your treasonous act. That's what you've done, buddy. And then to add insult to injury, something smart like making sure that this never happens again. What does he do?
It's kind of more of the same from this president. When he says things like 3rd world countries, what does he really say?
Here we go.
I think what he's saying is he doesn't want brown people in our country.
See, that shines a big fat spotlight on that dome right there. If I was Pete Hegseth, I would go ahead and court-martial the heck out of this nasty, stinking, evil-looking dude with those big ears. You see him with them bat ears? Yeah, I would call bat ears in and say, okay, now you would think you would have shut your mouth, go somewhere and lay low. But you're on CNN. Suggesting that, of course, got to be some type of racism. The motive is not to protect American citizens. No. The motive is not, we're responding to them killing one of our own and then finding another one who had plans to do that as well. No, it's not that. It's not protecting American citizens. It's because he wants to get brown people out. Now, you see the trash that they spread, and they wonder why we got so much hate and division in our country. Instead of saying, yeah, that's a smart policy. Yeah, this is a natural, smart response to 2 of our people being shot, and then finding out 2 of their people, one did it, and then the other one got plans to do it. Yes, that's a smart response. But no, Kane just cannot walk away from an opportunity to take a jab at Trump. He could have went ahead and said, yeah, that sounds like a reasonable decision. We want to make sure everybody's safe. And maybe Pete Hegseth or whoever is responsible for looking into the situation might say, you know what, let's put him on the back burner for now. But if I was Pete and I heard this trash and I saw him going out there doing rounds, trying to, first of all, justify his seditious behavior, then secondly, let me go ahead and keep insulting the president. Let me go ahead and keep dividing the country by inserting things that are not the motive, but you just don't learn. Yeah, you wonder why all of this violence takes place in our countries when it comes down to political violence. It's because of people like this trash. This guy right here, it's probably because the people of color. He needs a kick in the groin. That's what he needs. He needs to be court-martialed just for that alone. I say, see, now, you know what? We dealing with a serious situation. And then we turned on the TV and this dude's on here talking about our decision to do this is motivated by race. I can't stand Democrats. I really can't.
What is he really saying?
Look.
I think what he's saying is he doesn't want brown people in our country.
So then what were you really saying when you said that you have to resist? The resist orders that are unlawful? What were you really saying? You were really saying, hey, look, military, form a coup, fight against Trump, resist what he's telling you to do. That's what you were really saying, since you want to read into stuff. I think what he was really saying. And I'm going, no, what were you saying? And right now, I know what you're saying. You're saying instead of Trump being smart and taking care of us, he's racist. That's what you're saying. You don't think I could see that liberal dog whistle? He's racist.
And that is disturbing, and it's un-American.
Yeah. And here's another one. We're going to end with this dummy.
But obviously, in Trump's America, this is exactly what he wants. And the idea that one person can get out of line and commit such a horrific crime as shooting 2 of our National Guardsmen, 2 National Guardsmen that never, ever asked to be here. In fact, we know the young...
No, they did. They volunteered to be there over the vacation. Okay? So apparently they believed in what was going on. They didn't have to volunteer, but they did, you dirtbag, you. So glad she's getting booted out. And I hope she gets crushed trying to run for Senate. But once again, can't overlook an opportunity to try to demonize Trump. And they fall for the trap every time.
Lady that lost her life. Specifically, we're saying that this is a waste of time. But now you want to go against every single immigrant. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, it does. It makes sense. My Skittle analogy makes perfect sense. So that's the person. She would be a great example for me to bring the bag of Skittles laced with cyanide, the 2 pills, the 2 Skittles. Perfect example. I would have popped it out right there. You know what? You make a good point, ghetto congresswoman. In fact, here's a bag of Skittles that represent exactly your analogy. Yeah, let's see if it makes sense now in this application. Stick your hand down in there real good, real good. Get 2 of them, pop them out. Don't sniff them. Don't be trying to look at them and examine them. That's racist. You're judging those Skittles. Yeah, you don't want to go ahead and really scrutinize those Skittles to see if they're bad Skittles or not. We ain't got time for all of that. Just eat them bad boys and worry about the consequences afterwards. And watch her go, man, I ain't eating none of that mess. What you mean you ain't eating none of it? Oh, see, there you go again. You're judging. There's only 2 of them in there. What could go wrong? See, that's how dumb these people are.
And it's frankly not who we are, because if that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this country, because I can guarantee you, I can track down more crimes that they've committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate than white supremacists.
Now see, that's the type of stuff that they don't learn from. So wait a minute. First of all, you're going to make up these raggedy statistics. Going to throw a whole bunch of white people under the bus. You're using all of these fake statistics and race baiting once again. And your response to these people that hate our country is to throw our citizens under the bus. It is to go ahead and shift the blame and say, let's talk about white supremacists and all of the crimes they committed. You mean the fake ones that they make up? Man, I sprayed that dang on fly directly and he's still flying around. Anyway, yeah, so you see, they don't learn. They wonder why. Think I might have got him that time. See, I was quick on the draw. He don't realize, man, I practice. I got the quick trigger finger. Yeah, but yeah, they don't learn. They don't realize how this type of rhetoric is a slap in the face to everyday Americans when they say, instead of being worried about us, you're worried about them. And then to justify you being worried about them, you go ahead and throw white folks under the bus. White supremacists, where are they hiding? Where are they at? What are they doing? What are you talking about? So I want to find all these statistics of these white supremacists and white violence and stuff and point it out. Show it to me. Give me the stats. Give me the background of the things that y'all are labeling, crimes by white supremacists. What is their motivation? What makes you think they're white supremacists? How do you know that? Do they label themselves as that? Or is it just a fight between a white guy and a black guy and you just assume, let's label that white supremacy? Fights in prison, white guys and black guys, white supremacists. Let's go ahead and build this false narrative that America is plagued with white supremacy. That's what we're going to do. So that's what makes them specially evil, her specially dumb, and it makes them not learn. The same type of crap that people say, oh, here we go again. That's why I'm not voting. That's why I'm not voting for these people. I don't want to hear this for the next 4 years if I disagree with y'all raggedy policies and I'm a white man. Soon as I say, man, that's stupid. Yeah, it's stupid to you because you're a white supremacist. Just like the chick on Abby's show. Stephen Miller and his wife are white supremacists. Anybody who's white and don't agree with us are white supremacists. And you might be a white supremacist if you're black. Who knows? They don't care. They don't discriminate in that situation. Everybody who voted for Trump or disagrees with us are white supremacists. They don't learn. That is why they get vomited up. They get exposed with their hypocrisy. And that's why I despise
them. But we don't want to talk about that in this country.
Because you can't.
The irresponsibility that has completely devastated our country, Kristen, put us in such a dangerous position.
Democrats
I don't think people realized when Joe Biden was in the White House exactly how he was allowing our country to be infiltrated with people that we didn't know who they were. Some of them we did know were dangerous and we went after as soon as they came into this country. But under this program, we could have up to 100,000 people that came in from Afghanistan that may be here to do us harm.
Thank you. Therefore, they all got to go. Up to 100,000. Wow. They all got to go. But according to Jasmine Ratchet and according to that sorry behind former military dude talking about some, just because they're people of color. That's why he's doing this. See, they don't learn. Common sense people hear these people and they say, y'all are stupid. I wouldn't want y'all leading or governing or protecting us. None of that. Yeah. Well, when you're trying to go ahead and go after Trump and label him this and that and overlooking the danger and he's taking it seriously, I ain't got time to be hearing you talking about some white supremacy and what the white. I ain't got time for that. Nobody wants to hear that after we just lost one of our own to one of these people and another one's fighting for their life. And you think we want to hear you talk about some white supremacy? Y'all just don't learn. So God bless y'all. I'm trying to learn them. I'm trying to help them. Shut up, go somewhere, lay low. But nope, it's greater than them. The TDS is greater than them. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for kicking it with me. I'm about to upload some short clips and a few from some past shows. I uploaded one the other day. I'm going to upload at least 2 or 3 a day. I'm going to overwhelm it. So you got to have your notifications turned on so you can see all of these comments and stuff that I make in short clip form so you can share them with your crazy friends and stuff like that. Somebody said that was quick. Yeah, told you. Yeah, y'all thought I was going to go about 2 hours and stuff, but nah, tonight I'm just giving y'all a good hour of power. That's what it was, an hour of power. But I'll be back tomorrow. So God bless y'all. Thanks. Don't forget to like, share, follow, turn notifications on. Want to support the channel in other ways. Oh, and somebody sent me another blessing in the mailbox. And I want to say thank you very much, very, very much. You might just make my Christmas real special, y'all. So thanks again. Subscribe to my alternative channel, by the way, if you haven't done that. And yeah. All right. Other than that, let's get out of here. Hold on. Wait. Let me see. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Corner. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. Take care.